What if the USS Gerald R faced the Ottoman Navy? 1571, the Ottoman Empire launched 400 galleys and 30,000 soldiers into the Mediterranean, the largest naval force the world had ever seen. Every Christian navy that faced them had been destroyed, every single one. But what if, right as those fleets spotted each other in the Gulf of Patras, the USS Gerald R appeared on the horizon? The Ottoman Navy. Let's be clear about what the Ottoman Navy was in 1571. This was not a ragtag pirate fleet. 278 war galleys, 66 galleots, faster attack ships, and dozens of support vessels. Over 400 ships total, stretching across the water so wide it reportedly took over an hour to pass a fixed point. Each galley carried soldiers, archers, and bronze cannons mounted at the bow. And on those bows stood janissaries, the Ottoman elite infantry, trained to throw grappling hooks, board enemy ships, and fight hand-to-hand on pitching decks in full armor without blinking. Their commander, Ali Pasha, had spent years dismantling Christian navies across the eastern Mediterranean. Cyprus had fallen just months before. He had momentum, discipline, and 41,000 oarsmen behind him. His battle plan was the Ottoman Crescent, a massive arc formation designed to envelop the enemy fleet from both flanks simultaneously. Close the distance fast, ram the hull, board, fight with men. It had worked for 3 decades. It had never failed. On the morning of October 7th, Ali Pasha had every reason in the world to believe it would work again. He had no framework that would tell him otherwise. The USS Gerald R. The Ford is 1,106 feet long, 90,000 tons. It doesn't sail into battle, it arrives like a verdict. Nuclear-powered, it isn't going anywhere for 25 years without a refuel stop. On its deck, 75 aircraft, FA-18 Super Hornets, EA-18G electronic warfare jets, and E-2D Hawkeye surveillance planes that can track every ship in this battle from 30,000 feet, seeing 300 miles in every direction before the Ottomans can see 10. One FA-18 carries enough precision munitions to sink 20 Ottoman galleys in a single pass. The Ford has 44 of them. That's the entire Ottoman fleet twice over before a single ship-mounted missile is fired. But here's the problem that will matter. There are no resupply ships in 1571, no munitions depot, no fuel tankers waiting anywhere. Every bomb dropped, every missile fired, every gallon of jet fuel burned is gone permanently. The Ford is the most powerful warship ever built, sitting alone in a medieval sea with no logistics chain whatsoever. It is an island. And islands, if you're clever enough, can be surrounded. The battle. Phase 1, first contact. The Ottoman lookouts see it first. Something vast and gray is moving toward them from the northwest, against the wind, cutting white water with no sail and no oar. Ali Pasha comes to the stern and stares. The thing is enormous. It makes his flagship look like a river ferry. 2 FA-18s launch. The sound hits the Ottoman fleet like nothing any of them have ever heard, a tearing, physical roar that rolls across the water and doesn't stop. Galleys break formation. Galleots turn for shore. Oarsmen abandon their benches. Ali Pasha screams orders. Some officers hold, many don't, and not a single weapon has been fired yet. Phase 2, the Ottomans fight back. This is where Ali Pasha earns his reputation. He steadies the fleet. He doesn't know what the Ford is, but he knows it isn't moving fast. And he knows his galleys can close distance. Get close enough and the enemy cannot maneuver. Board it. Fight with men. He orders 300 galleys to advance in the crescent formation at full rowing speed. Drums beating. Oars churning. 30,000 soldiers packed onto bows with grappling hooks, the largest coordinated naval charge of the 16th century. Then he does something smarter. He launches 60 fire ships, small vessels soaked in oil and Greek fire, lit and aimed directly at the carrier from every angle. The phalanx systems open up, 4,500 rounds per minute shredding fire ships before they close. Most are destroyed, but some get through. They burn against the hull. The Ford has to nearly stop to avoid sailing through a wall of fire. A carrier that can't move can't launch aircraft. For a few minutes, Ali Pasha, a man born 4 centuries before radar existed, has actually found the Ford's weak point. Phase 3, the modern limit. 2 hours in, the weapons officer gives the captain a number he doesn't like. 40% of precision munitions are gone. Fuel margins are tightening. Each Super Hornet burns 1,200 gallons per flight hour, and they've been flying continuously. And 60 Ottoman galleys have closed to within a mile of the hull. Their bronze cannons are firing. They can't penetrate the armor, but debris is real. One pilot is hit. 2 aircraft are damaged on deck. The Ford is not in danger of sinking, but for the first time in this engagement, it is genuinely in a fight. The captain makes the call. One coordinated strike. End it now. Every operational FA-18 is armed and launched within 22 minutes. 41 jets form up at 15,000 feet, invisible and silent to every human eye below. The E-2D has tagged 180 priority targets. Ali Pasha's flagship sits dead center. The first JDAM bombs fall in near silence from altitude. The Ottomans cannot see the jets, cannot hear them over the wind and drums. 18 seconds of warning and no way to use it. 2 500-pound bombs hit Ali Pasha's flagship simultaneously. Then the flanks, then the outer galleys. In 11 minutes, the Ottoman fleet is gone, not retreating, not surrendering. Gone. The water is wreckage and survivors clinging to timber in the October cold. The Ford circles and launches rescue helicopters. Because even in a hypothetical, a U.S. Navy crew pulls people out of the water. The verdict: Ford wins completely. But those fire ships were the real story. If Ali Pasha had sent 200 instead of 60, the carrier gets encircled by burning water, unable to fly, forced to fight 300 galleys on ship weapons alone. It still wins, but that's a longer, messier fight with munitions running lower every hour. The key advantage wasn't firepower. It was the E-2D Hawkeye, seeing 300 miles in every direction while your enemy can see 10. That's not a weapon. That's a completely different understanding of reality. Ali Pasha was making brilliant decisions with the information he had. He just had almost none of it. The Ottomans weren't weak. They were the greatest naval force of their age. And Ali Pasha found the one tactic that could actually slow a supercarrier down. That's remarkable. It just wasn't enough. History isn't about who was stronger. It's about who had the better tools at the right time. What if he'd had 200 fire ships? What if it was 10 carriers against the full Ottoman Empire at its peak? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. That's your 2 and what if scenario. The greatest naval empire of the medieval world versus the most powerful warship ever built. And for a few minutes in the middle of a burning sea, it was almost a real fight. Subscribe for a new scenario every week.